a story from insiders in the Obama and Clinton camps. Apparently, Obama was having meetings after the election with John McCain and Hillary Clinton, and he wanted to be respectful and get their ideas and discuss possibilities of how they could work together in the upcoming 4 years. And he didn't apparently exactly offer the job of Secretary of State to Hillary Clinton. He mentioned how she might be able to help at state, among other things. Now, maybe that's code words. Maybe they meant it. Maybe they didn't quite mean it. Maybe it was just a discussion. But some aides are saying it wasn't really an offer. And what wound up happening is, immediately thereafter, Hillary Clinton's folks leaked it as if it was an offer. And they're like, well, what can you do? We've been offered the Secretary of State. We'll think about it. And then that kind of boxes Obama into a corner. And then what's he going to do? Pull it back? Man, I'll tell you, if that's really how it went down, that is clever, dude. And that's politics, and that makes me uncomfortable. But my guess is that if Obama was really uncomfortable with it, that he would have found a way to nip it in the bud and be like, no. So maybe she played him a little bit, but I think he was willing to be played. If this story is true. You know, with these insider stories, you never know. They're interesting insights into what's going on behind the scenes, but sometimes they're not exactly right. So take it for what it's worth. But if that's true, man, Hillary knows how to play ball. So, once again, watch your back. Watch your back. Yes, J.R. Jackson.
So for all the people in the world, like myself, who don't understand why politics sometimes this makes sense. It doesn't make sense in the real world. If I'm offering someone a job, or if I talk to someone about a job, and it's a high-profile thing, I'm a big-name person, and they say, oh, by the way, J.R. Jackson offered me this job as his assistant because he's this millionaire actor, and I'm this whoever, somehow known person. Whatever. I'm trying to give it a different kind of scale.
Right.
And if I didn't, how does it hurt me to say, no, I didn't? How does that hurt him?
Because here's this good question, Jared. Great question. Because here's how it's going to be spun. It's going to be spun as Obama's indecisive. He offers it, he pulls it back, and is he going in that direction? Is he not? And then it's seen as a rejection of Hillary Clinton and her supporters, and it gives him a whole heap of trouble that he didn't need to have. And whether he's going to try to spin it back, of course, if you get into that mess, but it's already a mess, and then you got detractors that you didn't need. Do you see what I'm saying?
So basically people just wouldn't believe you.
Well, and then that's the other thing. If you come out in public, even though her staffers might have done this, right? If you come out in public and say, I didn't offer her that job, that's a big-time diss to Hillary Clinton. It seems like she's desperate and trying to play for it, etc. You lose her as an ally forever.
Doesn't that make her look bad if I say, I don't know where the leaks came from, but I didn't offer that? Now, we would love, you can do all the pleasantries. We would love to this, and that. We see her as this, and that. She has a positive influence in this, and that. We know she's genius, smart, this, and that.
Yeah, nobody's buying that, though.
No, I'm not really sure where these things came from. And then, I don't know, I would think in normal reality-based world, people would say, why is Hillary Clinton saying this then if he didn't say it? She must look desperate. Wouldn't the thing go her way?
No, that's another good point, JR. It's a lose-lose proposition. If this is true, Clinton's people are playing poker. They're saying, look, we're going to put you in a box where if you call our bluff, then we're both going to lose. We might lose bigger than you, right? But you'll lose. And so if you don't want that to happen, instead of that lose-lose proposition, we go with a win-win proposition. You were considering us for state anyway, okay? And we win because we get to go be the Secretary of State. You win because you get a wonderful Secretary of State, and you seem like you're pulling in your rivals, et cetera, et cetera. So why go from a win-win proposition to a lose-lose proposition? They're gambling. You see that, JR? So it has a potential upside, which is you become Secretary of State, and it has a potential downside, which is that you look like a clown. And in this case, it appears that they played it right, and she is Secretary of State. So, nicely done. Okay. I'm going to learn that one for the next time I'm sitting there playing poker, right? Give people a win-win proposition, not a lose-lose one.